This is definitely the sort of place that bigger boys might have left some porn. Word to you, Marla. My name's Steve, this channel is FRAG30 and thank you for tuning in, I appreciate it. Today I have come outside where there's like trees and dogs and motorbikes and bigger boys. Basically lots of things that can physically hurt me, which I don't like. I feel vulnerable. I feel like a 10-year-old child that's gone into the woods without telling his mum. So let's hurry up and get this video done. Today I'm going to do my top 10 fragrances for autumn or fall, depending on which side of the pond you are. I love the colder months of autumn and winter because it gives me an opportunity to wear some of those darker, richer, sexier, longer lasting fragrances that I don't get to wear for the rest of the year. Basically in autumn, my top picks really are woody fragrances and spicy fragrances. They're my sort of two things that I normally aim for in autumn, so you'll see some of those in the list. But I also use it as an opportunity to wear some of those kind of richer, sexier, date night type fragrances that I don't get to wear kind of that often, to be honest, because mainly my wife doesn't like me so much. In at number 10 is an absolute classic. It is Burberry's Touch. I love this fragrance, and so does Big Beard B from the channel Big Beard Business, so that's kind of a bigger endorsement than what I could give it. It's such a comforting fragrance. It's kind of a bit soft and powdery, but it's quite spicy as well, and it's just a really nice, appealing, kind of somewhat sexy fragrance. I really enjoy it. I saw somebody once describe this fragrance on Instagram as that sort of really comfy sort of hoodie or jumper that you sort of reach for when you're you need almost comforting, or you just want to get a bit snuggly, and that's kind of what this fragrance is to me, really. Like when I wear this, it's just got this like sort of warming, comforting kind of feel about it. I don't know, I just really enjoy it. So as soon as the colder months come, that's when I reach for Burberry's Touch. In at number 9 is a fragrance that is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, and I don't really know why. It shouldn't be, probably because it's a bit of a juvenile brand, but it is Diesel's Only the Brave Tattoo. I mean, yeah, probably the bottle is why it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I think this is, I say it's juvenile, but I think it's probably one of the more mature fragrances from Diesel, but that's not saying a lot. I mean, that's like being the nicest of all the sexually transmitted diseases. I mean, I really just enjoy this fragrance. I bought this from just smelling it in store. I was in store, I had some like a £30 voucher or credit or something. I think I had a gift card actually as a Christmas present for like the fragrance shop or something like that. And I went in there and I was just smelling a lot of fragrances and trying it, and I smelt this and I just really enjoyed it. The red apple is really prominent in this, and I just really enjoy that red apple. It's kind of really sweet and quite mass appealing. My little boy likes this. My wife thinks it's okay. I think she thinks it's kind of a little bit sort of sweet and kind of actually almost a bit too sort of girly actually. But there is tobacco in this apparently. It's not a prominent note. I certainly wouldn't say it's a tobacco fragrance. I think if anything it gives it like this extra kind of layer of sort of a slight layer of darkness. But yeah, it's really not a tobacco fragrance, so I wouldn't let that kind of put you off. It's just like a really nice kind of, it's quite sexy, sweet kind of fragrance that you can actually get that's not too, you know, it's quite affordable as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing this. It's just one of those fragrances that makes me happy when I wear it. So yeah, in at number 9, it's Diesel's Only the Brave Tattoo. In at number 8 is a fragrance that I've spoken about numerous times on my channel. It was in my video, the fragrances that grew on me, and it is Burberry's Brit Rhythm Intense. So again, similar to Burberry Touch, this is quite spicy, but there's a lot going on with this. It's kind of quite soft, quite sweet, kind of a bit sort of powdery, but a bit quite spicy as well. There's a lot going on. I think there was 3 perfumers involved in the creation of this, and it does show because it's kind of a little bit of a sort of a fragrance designed by committee, if I'm honest, because there's a lot going on. So I wouldn't recommend you blind buy, but you should be able to get your nose in it in the department store Boots that we have in the UK. It is just a fragrance that I really enjoy. It's grown on me the more I've worn it, and it's quite versatile. I've worn it in the office at work, and I sort of got noticed for it. I kind of worn it at the weekends, and yeah, I'm not saying it's going to win any awards, it's very designer, but I just really enjoy it, and it's kind of, I don't get too bad performance if I spray on clothes as well. So that's my tip. If you spray on clothes, I've noticed it lasts quite a lot longer on clothes, so that kind of improves the longevity. So yeah, I'd urge you just to check it out the next time you're in a department store. So that's Burberry's Brit Rhythm Intense. In at number 7 is a fragrance that I love. Unfortunately, it does have a DNA that's more common than Katie Price, but I can't help it. It is Boss Bottled Intense, the EDP. As soon as it starts getting cooler, I whop this bad boy out because I just really enjoy it. And the fact that it's a bit thicker, a bit richer, it's got a bit more depth, just means it lasts a lot longer and it works really well in sort of cooler months. It's such a nice DNA that it just puts me in a happy place. I just find it really comforting. I don't know if it's that kind of warm apple pie vibe, so that kind of makes me feel at home, or just takes me back to my youth, maybe, I don't know. But it's just a really comforting vibe, and it's just really, I think it's really quite sexy, and again, it obviously offers some versatility. So I often wear this in the office, or I often wear this at the weekend, like going for like a Sunday dinner or something like that, out with the family, because it's just a really nice DNA that everybody's going to enjoy, you're not going to offend, and it's just really pleasing. It makes me happy and puts me in my happy place. So yeah, in at number 7, that's Boss Bottled Intense, the EDP. In at number 6 is a fragrance that doesn't get much love, unfortunately, but I really enjoy it. It is Bvlgari's Man Wood Essence. Now, I know people are going to comment below and say they don't like this, but I do, and it's my list, so I'm sharing it with you. I'm keeping it real. It's a fragrance that I did include in my sort of fragrance that grow on me kind of list, because when I first smelt it, I was just a bit intrigued by it. It's a bit weird. It wasn't like as woody as I thought it'd be. It was quite sweet and sort of bubblegummy, but I ended up ordering it because I was just kind of intrigued by it, and the more I've worn it, the more I really enjoy it, and it works really well in the autumn. It's that the woodiness from it kind of suits the autumn quite well, and then it's still got that sweetness from the benzoin that gives it like a mass appeal. So I'll be kind of wearing this during the working time, during work, during the office, and when I'm out and about visiting customers, because it's just kind of a really mass appealing yet manly fragrance that I really enjoy. And I actually get quite good performance from this. It doesn't project like beastly, but it does last quite a long time. Like I can easily get 8 hours over this. It just wears quite close, unfortunately. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's Bvlgari's Man Wood Essence. In at number 5 is Oud Wood, but it's not from Tom Ford. It is the Pocketscents.co.uk version. I really enjoy this fragrance. I've done a side-by-side test with the original Tom Ford's Oud Wood, and I actually prefer this version. So the fact that it's loads cheaper makes life, you know, a lot sweeter for me as well. The differences I found, there is some noticeable differences, but they're not dramatic. I would say this is a little bit less barnyardy than the original, and it's a little bit sweeter as well, which makes it a little bit more mass appealing, and it makes it a lot easier to wear, which is really good. I smelt this actually earlier today for the first time in quite a while, because I've just started my colder weather rotation. And so when I smelt this, I was like, damn, I've totally forgotten how good that smells, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it, and it's probably going to be my scent of the day for tomorrow, to be honest. So yeah, that's Pocketscents.co.uk, their version of Oud Wood. If you look in my description below, you'll see some discount codes for Pocketscents.co.uk. Unfortunately, you can't use them for this because this is in the NX Plus line, so it's their kind of premium, more expensive version. So no discount codes apply, unfortunately. But yeah, you can check out the rest of it. I don't get anything for using that discount code, so there's no reason for me to promote it. I don't get a kickback or a percentage of whatever you spend or anything like that. Okay, it's just you get a discount. So, you know, don't not use it just because you think you're going to get one over on me, because that's just stupid. In at number 4 is a fragrance that I first smelt when I was doing a collaboration video with Chris from the channel FRAG30. It is Azzaro's Wanted by Night. As soon as I smelt this on Chris's channel when we was filming that video, I loved it. I was like, straight away I said to him, I've got to get that, and I did. I sort of purchased it not long after we shot that video. For me, this is, it's just so rich and sexy. For me, this is like, I just feel sexy wearing this. I love it. So this is one of those ones that I mentioned earlier. It's a bit more of a kind of date night type fragrance, but it's not so heavy that you can't kind of get away with it just on, you know, a night out, or kind of even in the office if it's colder kind of weather. Because it is just kind of just rich and sexy. It almost comes across as boozy to me, but there's no actual alcohol or boozy notes in there. It's a leather-based fragrance, so it is kind of a little bit of a bad boy sexy vibe going on. And as I say, I don't get to go on many dates, so anytime there's colder weather, I'll whop out the date night fragrances, and this is one of them. It is Azzaro's Wanted by Night. In at number 3 is a fragrance that, again, has a bit of a sort of date night vibe going on. It is Armani Code's Profumo. Now, I love this fragrance. It's got a as I say, it has kind of got a sexy date night vibe going on, but from the Armani code DNA, it does give it some versatility, so you can get away with wearing it like in the office if you sort of so wish in the colder months, which I will certainly do. I really enjoy this fragrance. My wife likes this. I've had some unsolicited compliments from her and from other people wearing this fragrance. It is just such an enjoyable fragrance to wear. I originally had the Perfume Parlour clone version of this, which is really good, and but it's not quite obviously as good as the original, and I enjoyed it so much I just had to stump up and get the original in the end, which I just really glad I did, because I so enjoy this and it just had to be in my collection, and I can't wait to wear it more this autumn. So yeah, in at number 3, it's Armani code Profumo. In at number 2 is a fragrance that was my scent of the day yesterday, and I so enjoyed wearing it. I was like, I've got to include it in the list. It is Armani's Stronger With You. Now this is the original EDT version, not the Intensely version. I personally find the Intensely version a bit too much, and it's just kind of goes more into the realms of a sort of gourmand to me, where this is a gourmand fragrance, but it's just basically like a sweet mass appealing fragrance, where that is kind of the Intensity version is just a bit too gourmand for me. As I say, I wore this yesterday and I just so enjoyed it. It is very designer, it is quite synthetic, but it's got that sweetness sort of from the cinnamon, and that gives it that gourmand vibe as well. And there's a lot going on in this fragrance, there's more going on than people give it credit for, I think. It is just a really sweet designer, mass appealing fragrance that I personally think you can't go wrong with. I don't think anybody's going to actively dislike it. And you know what, I get great performance from this, great performance. I put this on at about, I don't know, 9:30 yesterday, and I could still smell it early evening, like 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. It was still kind of quite noticeable. So I actually get great performance from this. So if I can sort out the fucking lid. Yeah, other than that, I love this fragrance, and that's why I'm putting it in at number 2, because I've missed wearing it during the summer. So yeah, Armani's Stronger With You. In at number 1 is one of my favourite fragrances of all time, so there's no surprises. It is Byron Parfums The Chronic. Now, this is again another fragrance that I first smelled when I was doing a collaboration video with Chris from FRAG30. He introduced me to the world of Byron Parfums, and this was by far my favourite from their collection. I absolutely fell in love with it, and not long after that video I purchased it, and it was the first niche fragrance that I ever bought. It is very, I mean, on the dry down you've basically got sandalwood and musk, but it carries like this very sort of sweet bubblegummy mass appeal to it, which I just really enjoy. Everybody I know that's tried this have really enjoyed it. The only criticism is some people say it is more feminine, because it is a unisex fragrance. So my wife likes it, but she again thinks it's kind of fairly feminine. My friend Vinora smelt it and she absolutely loved it, gave it 10 out of 10, but she said again she thinks she'd probably wear it more herself than, you know, her fella. So that's the only downer, but I tell you what, I don't care. I love this fragrance. It's actually my scent of the day today as well, and I get great performance from this. I'm definitely going to order another bottle as soon as I finish this one, but it'll probably take me a while because this performs so well. You only need like 2 or 3 sprays from it. I put this on this morning. It's still going strong now. I wore it earlier in the week as well, and it basically lasted. I put it on in the morning, lasted all through the day, and then when I was going out about sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, I put it on some more, and then the following morning I could still smell it. So it just works so well. I love this fragrance. Again, you might not want to blind buy it though, because it's quite expensive being niche, but you can order some small samples. But if you can, I would order a sample and try this because it is amazing. It is Byron Parfums The Chronic. So that's it, that's my top 10 fragrances that I'm going to be wearing this autumn or fall, depending on whether you're from a country that has a World Series where only local teams play, which confuses the hell out of me. But anyway, it doesn't matter where you're from, I love you and I really appreciate the fact that you've tuned in. So thank you. If you got something out of this video, do please hit that like button, it helps me. And if you haven't done so, do hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. As I say, I do love you all, and I will see you for the next one. Much love.